What's up, guys? I'm Jim Ansel. This is Real Deal Outdoors. We're going to do something a little bit different in this video. This is going to be kind of a video analysis. There was a video that came out a couple of days ago that was really intriguing. I've never seen anything quite like this before, and this video has been getting a ton of hate from a lot of people. A lot of people are saying that this video is fake, that the guys that made it, I guess, are just trying to become internet famous or whatever the deal is. So we're going to break this video down. We're going to go segment by segment, and I'm going to tell all you keyboard warriors and all you internet experts why you're wrong. All right, so I'm going to start this video out by telling you guys, I've been fascinated by sharks and crocodiles since I was old enough to walk. I think they're the two coolest animals in the world. Now, where the crocodile is concerned, I have kind of a love-hate relationship with this thing. I love these animals because they're just super awesome. They're apex predators. They're super interesting. They're just a really cool animal. I hate them because I'm a fisherman. I spend a lot of time near the water, and crocodiles and alligators are just a serious threat. Unlike sharks, where they'll just attack somebody by mistake, most of the time if you're swimming in the ocean, you're no more than 50 yards away from a shark probably, and for the most part they just leave people alone. Crocodiles and alligators are an entirely different thing. All right, alligators not so much as the crocodile. Alligators are a lot more even-tempered, but either one of these animals, if they attack you, they're attacking you to kill you. They want to eat you. They look at a human and they see a meal. I don't think there's any case of mistaken identity when a crocodile goes for somebody or an alligator goes for somebody. And if one can get a hold of you in the water, most of the time you're going to be done. They latch on, they drag you down, they drown you, or they'll do a death roll and just start tearing you to pieces. There's not a whole lot of hope that you're going to survive an attack, especially by something like a saltwater crocodile. Anyway, what's going on in this video is you've got this guy swimming. It's somewhere in Brazil. And out of nowhere comes this caiman. Everybody's calling it an alligator online. It's a caiman. That's what they've got down there in Brazil and most of South America. They've got crocodiles down there too, but this is definitely a caiman. This thing just comes out of nowhere. It rockets towards this guy and it bites him on the arm. And you see a short little struggle, and the guy gets out of the water. He's mostly unscathed. He's got a little bit of blood trickling down from his arm. I'm sure he's hurting. But it was a smaller animal, and I think that it just bit off more than it could chew, and once it realized that, it backed off. But there are a ton of people online, of course. When a video like this hits the internet, everybody thinks they know everything about everything. And you've got so many comments from people talking about how this is absolutely a remote control alligator head. And those things do exist. I've actually got one right here in the office. And again, we're going to break down some reasons why this is not a remote control alligator head. But I mean, it's just a barrage of comment after comment, people talking down to these dudes and talking about how the video is fake. And it just really gets on my nerves. It's like whenever something like this comes out, everybody suddenly becomes an expert on animal behavior and whatnot. And it's just a crock. It's a lot of people who don't know anything about anything, and they're just being hateful online, and I just hate it. It's just a pet peeve of mine. So that's why I decided to do this video. It's not necessarily fishing related, but it kind of is fishing related in that, fishermen deal with these things, and I thought it would be something cool to do, something a little bit different. So anyway, let's jump over to the video. We'll start it from the beginning, and we'll go through and break things down segment by segment. Like I said, we're going to do some slow motion, some close-up shots, so that I can show you guys this thing is not a remote control head. I think by the end of this video, we'll have proved beyond the shadow of a doubt that this thing is real, which is insane. I've just never seen footage quite like this before. So let's jump over and have a look. All right, so I've got it pulled up here now. And the way that this video starts out is these guys are filming, I guess, from the road. I don't know whether they're friends with the guy or not. I don't speak Portuguese, so I'm not sure exactly what they're saying. They're walking up here, and this guy, he starts swimming really fast towards the shoreline. I don't know if he's seen the caiman or if he's just done swimming and ready to get out. I don't know what the deal is, but let's watch and see what happens here. All right, so they're walking up. Here he goes. He's swimming really quickly, and if you look off to the left of the screen, here comes the caiman. All right, boom. Okay, so I'm going to stop it right here because this is really important. This is probably one of the main points that I'm going to make in regard to this being a remote control alligator head. I don't know if you guys have ever seen one of these remote control alligator heads in the water, if you've ever seen one of them work. They're not very fast. They don't put out a tremendous amount of wake like this thing is doing. The amount of wake that this thing is putting out is insane, and it trails well behind the animal, okay? Another thing about the remote control alligator heads is they don't turn on a dime, okay? They're not making precision movements. They're kind of cumbersome. They kind of like to, when they turn, they do like a wide berth, and they're also not very stable because they're not keeled. Most of them don't have a keel on them, so they're not super stable in the water. A lot of times if you go to make a sharp turn with it, the head looks like it's going to tip over. This thing is quite the opposite. Now let's slow this down a little bit and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so you see the alligator, he starts moving in, and you can see this wake behind this animal. It's insane. All right, we're going to zoom in on this thing, and I want you to pay attention to the wake. All right, right there. That wake is doing something that's very specific to when a gator or a crocodile really puts on the speed. You can see the tail. You can actually see the tail in the wake doing this deal, okay? It's swaying back and forth. And I've seen a lot of comments online talking about, you know, I lived in Florida for so long. I've lived in Florida my whole life. I've seen alligators and they don't move that way. I hate to tell you, you know, you're wrong. And I've got video to prove it. I want to show you guys this clip right here. This is a fisherman, and this alligator just launches out of the water to grab this guy's fish. And if you pay attention to this alligator, you're going to see the same kind of wake coming off of this guy that's coming off of this caiman. And you're not going to see it as long. This alligator's not traveling as far. It's just right across the canal. But it's the same exact kind of wake that's coming off the back of this caiman. And let's take a look at that right now. All right, you see him coming in. He's coming in, and he puts it on right here. Boom, puts on the speed right there. Slow it down. There you see it. The same kind of wake that you were seeing off of that caiman. Now, a lot of people aren't aware that alligators can put the speed on like this. They're like little torpedoes in the water. When they really want to move, they can move. Most of the time, you don't get to see that. Most of the time, you're not going to see a predation event happen. You know, usually when you're seeing alligators out in the wild, they're just kind of chilling, floating around, just hanging out. It's not that often that you really see them put the afterburner on like this and go for prey. So this is a really important video right here. It just goes to show you that, yes, they do move like this. Yes, they can put that speed on. And yes, they do create a wake exactly like the wake that you're seeing in this video. So now I want to move on to the next clip. The next clip is interesting. Okay, all these people that are talking about this being a remote control alligator head, well, I've never seen a remote control alligator head that launches forward and opens its mouth at the right moment. Okay, that's what you're going to see in the next clip. So let's take a look at that real quick. All right, so we're picking off right exactly where this left off before. All right, and you just saw it. It was kind of hard to see here. We're going to slow it down. Boom. He launches forward, opens his mouth. Now let's enlarge this a little bit so you get a better look at it, and slow it down so that you guys can really see what I'm talking about here. All right, you'll see this. Let's see, here it goes. Boom. At the last moment, this caiman lunges forward from a position where it's got its mouth closed and it's moving in towards the guy. All right, at the last moment, it opens its mouth, lunges forward, and grabs a hold of the dude's arm. It's very clear. Then you see a little bit of a struggle here. And if you slow it down in a couple of places, you can also see the full body of the animal. I'll throw up a couple of freeze frames here so you can see what I'm talking about. But there's a little bit of a struggle going on. The water kind of is turbulent here, but it goes down just enough that you can see the shoulders of this animal, if you want to call them shoulders, just behind where the neck area would be. And you can also see part of the tail here in a couple of these freeze frames. But yeah, it's right here. That's a full-bodied animal. It's very clear that it's a full-bodied animal. Now, the next thing is something else that people are commenting on, and that's that they can't believe that the caiman would have attacked like this and then just sat there. They say they wouldn't have done that. You know, it would have taken off and gone away, or it would have gone underwater, or it would have done this, it would have done that. You know, you guys don't know what it would have done. If you're not somebody who's out in the wild examining these animals closely every single day, there's no way for you to know how this animal is going to react to something like this. This is probably like a 4 to 5 foot long caiman. It's not very big. It sees this movement on the surface of the water, doesn't really know what it is. It moves in to attack because it thinks it's going to get an easy meal. You know, when it gets there, it finds out that this potential prey that it thinks that it's headed towards is far bigger than it anticipated, and it backs off. Now, it doesn't take off and leave. It doesn't go under the water. A lot of people are confused by that. They're saying, why would it just sit there the whole time? Why would it do that? I've seen animals do this before. All right, I've seen alligators do this before. They'll hit something, they'll just sit there. Now, it could be a few different things. It could be that it's just kind of confused about what just happened and it's kind of gathering its thoughts. I don't know whether they do that or not. I don't know how that works. It could also be that it just struck a blow to this guy. The dude is bleeding and it thinks, hey, if I sit here long enough, maybe the guy is going to get weak. Maybe the guy is going to die and I can move in and finish the job. That's something that animals do on a pretty regular basis. You know, they don't want to get hurt either. So they'll move in, they'll strike, and then they'll back off and just sit there and watch, or they'll circle until whatever it is that they're trying to get bleeds out. The point is, just because the alligator is not doing what you would expect it to do, doesn't mean that this isn't a real thing. And I'm going to show you guys an interesting clip right now that kind of proves this point. You know, animals don't always do what you would expect for them to do. This is a clip that comes out of Florida, I believe. There's some duck hunters down here, and I don't know if they're picking decoys up or if they went out to grab a duck that they had just shot or whatever the case. But what happens here is this guy has an alligator that's stalking him. Again, it's not a super big alligator. It's probably like a 6 or 7 foot alligator, probably close to about the size of this caiman in this video. And it's stalking the guy, and he shoots a 12 gauge at it. I mean, within inches of this gator's nose. You can see it right here. All right, we'll slow it down a little bit. What did that gator do? Nothing. He sat there stone cold still. Didn't move, didn't flinch, nothing. The gator sat there. Now, most animals, if you shoot a 12 gauge shotgun at them, they're going to take off in the opposite direction. They don't want any part of that. This gator is the exception. Now, it could be that he's confused. Again, like I said, that could have been the case with the caiman in the video. He could just be confused and he's trying to figure out what to do next. Just because an animal doesn't do exactly what you expect for it to do doesn't mean that the video isn't real. I'm going to close this out by bringing up a couple of things that I think were a little weird about this video. Like I said, I do think that this is a genuine video. I think this actually happened. This is definitely a real animal. It definitely hit this dude. Like I said, I think that it saw an opportunity to grab prey that in its mind, I guess it thought was smaller, a little bit of an easier target than what it really was. And when he got up there and realized what he was doing, he realized he bit off more than he could chew and he just backed off. The thing that confuses me about this video is nobody is worked up at all. Like, the guys filming it aren't worked up. The moment the attack happened, they didn't get worked up. They weren't trying to warn the guy that the alligator was coming. They weren't trying to throw things at it to deter it from biting him. I mean, they just stood there and watched. And everybody seems calm as a cucumber. The dude coming out of the water, you can tell he's hurt. But I mean, he's not making a big deal out of it either. I don't know what to make of that. I don't know if people in Brazil are just badass or what. But it's a little weird, the behavior from the people in this video. And I've seen a lot of comments from people saying that they believe it's scripted. I don't think so. I just think that they're acting strange. It doesn't seem appropriate for the circumstances that just happened. I will give you guys that. But anyway, I think after you guys watch these still frames, these slow motion clips of this thing, and then you see the other clips that I added, the other videos to kind of back this up, I think we kind of prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is definitely a real animal. This is a real event. There's no remote control alligator head here. I don't know of a remote control alligator head that could turn that precisely on a dime the way that this thing did. I don't know of a remote control anything that puts off the amount of wake that this thing did. You can tell there's a lot of weight behind this thing, and it is torpedoing towards this guy with absolute precision. And that right there was enough for me to believe that this is a live animal. But the fact that it opens its mouth up at the right time, bites down on the dude's arm, when they're struggling, if you take the freeze frames, you can see that it's a full-bodied animal. This is a real video. This is genuine. So there's one more thing, one more clip that I wanted to show you guys before we ended this video. A lot of y'all have probably seen it. It came out a few months ago, and it's a really crazy video of this crocodile, I think in Australia, that's swimming essentially like a porpoise or a dolphin next to a boat. And you know, that's for all y'all who say you've lived in Florida forever and you've seen alligators your whole life and they don't move like this. Well, I've never seen a crocodile move like this. I don't think anybody else ever has either until this video surfaced. So just because you live around something and you see it fairly often doesn't mean you know everything about it, all right? Just because you're from Florida doesn't make you the authority on alligators. I lived in Florida for a long time, and I only saw a live alligator in the wild like twice the whole time that I was down there. And I lived there for years, and I was around the water often. So don't think just because you come from somewhere where you see alligators on a regular basis that you know everything there is to know about them, because you don't. I'm sure there's still things that scientists that study these things on a daily basis are learning. So anyway, that's my rant. That's my spiel about this video. It just gets on my nerves whenever I see somebody post something like this and it goes viral and everybody just rips into it and tears it apart. I don't know what the reason is for it. You know, I guess just, you know, people with too much time on their hands, they sit behind the computer, and I don't know. It's a crazy world that we're living in, man. It's a really cool video, and I think it takes away from it when you got all these people talking about it being a remote control alligator head. This is genuine. This is real. I've never seen anything quite like this before. There's a lot of videos online where people claim that they've got videos of alligators attacking people and whatnot. I've never seen anything quite like this. And I haven't seen very many videos where there's like a predation event like this, where a crocodile or an alligator is, you know, at distance, sees what it thinks could be prey, and then torpedoes towards it with precision. That was just really cool to see. I hate it for the guy. I'm sure that his arm is in pain after this event. He's got a little bit of blood trickling down his arm and his chest, but thankfully, I think for the most part, the guy, he got off easily. I think he's okay. I didn't read any updates or anything on the guy, if he went to the hospital or how extensive the damage was to his arm or anything like that, but it was a small alligator. I don't think it would have caused too much damage. Anyway, guys, that's the video. I hope you all enjoyed this. I know it's something way different than what I usually do on this channel. Listen, if you enjoyed this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Also, drop me a comment down in the comment section. Let me know if you like videos like this, because we can do things like this on a more regular basis. Like I said, I love crocodiles, I love sharks, I love alligators, stuff like that. I would love to do a series of videos kind of like this where we can go in and maybe analyze some of these attacks or whatever. Somebody posts a video like this. I love digging into this kind of stuff and trying to determine whether or not it's real or fake or whatever the case. You guys let me know if you want to see more of this content. That's what I'm saying. So if you haven't already, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. Lots of stuff coming y'all's way. Like I said, just the summer has been crazy. I'm sick again, if y'all can't tell. I'm congested really badly. I just got over a nasty sinus infection. Just kind of comes this time of year every year. So it's an annual thing. It's nothing that I was surprised about. I'm just really tired of being sick because I just spent 3 months, June, July, and August, being sick with different stuff all summer long. And I had about a month off, and then boom, I got hit with this. So it's been a year, guys. It's really been a year. Anyway, I got some more content coming for you guys in the coming days. I got a cool boat outside that I want to show you guys. It's called a crow boat, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and how that's going to benefit the channel moving forward. So we got a video about that coming out real soon. I'm also going to start doing a lot more saltwater fishing. So you guys are going to get to see some saltwater stuff in the Virginia Beach and Outer Banks area. That's going to be a change of pace, as most of the stuff on this channel has been about bass fishing. But like I said, I live in an area with an abundance of different fisheries. And so we're going to start hitting up some of those different fisheries and doing some different stuff on the channel. So hopefully you guys enjoy that too. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate y'all sticking with me. I appreciate you guys being here and watching these videos. It means a lot. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Tight lines.